When I say lots of mistake, I mean lots of it. I'm really sorry, guys.
It had been a few months since they've gotten together, and a week ago they had finally told the team about their relationship. Unsurprisingly, most of them had a sneaking suspicion that they might have been crushing on each other, but none of them thought that they were already so far along in their relationship. So when Tanaka grabbed him by the waist and kissed him in front of the team for the first time, the couple were not surprised at the sheer amount of chaos their kiss has caused. Enoshita smiled fondly at the memory despite knowing the team wouldn't judge. He was still nervous about telling them. Shaking the memories away, he picked up his bag and checked to see if he had everything he needed. He and Tanaka have been staying at each other's houses more often than not. Saiko has practically become his sister, and Tanaka's parents were lovely to him. They always invited him over and even gave him a spare key. Tanaka wasn't worried about coming out since his sister had came out a while back, and ever since then he's been confiding in her and they've been dropping hints to their parents. His situation, on the other hand, was a completely different story, and to say that he was terrified was an understatement, which was why they were both touched at how accepting his parents were. Shikara, Tanaka's voice broke Enoshita out of his thoughts. Yes, Ryu. Don't leave. Ryu, we have to go to the training camp tomorrow. I have to get some stuff from the store to prepare for it. But Shikara, what am I supposed to do while you're gone? Enoshita sighed and rolled his eyes at the pouting boy laying on the ground dramatically. Just do whatever you usually do while I'm gone, then I'm sure Yoso wait for you to come back. Enoshita's eyes widened and his cheeks flushed red. His head snapped in Tanaka's direction and boy just looked at him with a smug grin on his face. Before Enoshita could retort back, Tanaka opened his mouth and, so what are you buying in the store? I mean, you said preparing. The only thing I can think about preparing is. Tanaka grinned slyly and raked his eyes up and down Enoshita's figure. You're a Tanaka Ryonashuk. Tanaka started cackling loudly, rolling around on the ground while Enoshita shouted at him, embarrassed at the implication of such acts. I'm leaving for the store now. Stop laughing, you perverted asshole. Enoshita screeched out the last sentence, still embarrassed, and slammed the door behind him. Huffing out a breath, he put a palm on his red face and shook his head, trying desperately to clear his mind before he hurried to the store. Hey Tanaka, where's Enoshita? Here. The team turns to see Enoshita panting heavily at the door of the bus, sweat dripping down the side of his face. His face was flushed, and for whatever reason Tanaka thought he looked adorable. So of course, dumping all his non-existent common sense out the window, he walked towards Enoshita and started planting kisses on the top of his head and forehead. Tanaka, stop. Why? Tanaka continued to kiss his forehead, completely ignoring the giggles and jeering in the background. He found the blush forming on Enoshita's face endearing, and he pointedly raised his middle finger up and showed it to the rest of the team. Hey Tanaka, we have to get to the training camp now. Sit down. I get to sit with Chika, right? No, go sit with Noya. But Ryu, just listen to them, alright? Chika, they want us to sit apart. Yes, I know, now go sit down then. Enoshita plopped down onto the seat next to Yamaguchi and nodded his head in the direction of Nishinoya. Tanaka pouted but complied to his boyfriend's wishes and grumpily sat down next to his best friend. After a while of chatting, which made absolutely no sense since most questions were along the lines of if snakes are lizards without legs, he glanced towards Tsukishima, who was sleeping next to Narita and Kinoshita with his earphones on. He smiled, thinking of the things he could do to annoy the blonde boy. He turned to look at the blonde's partner and his lips pressed into a thin line. Enoshita and Yamaguchi were quietly chuckling together. They were sharing Enoshita's earphones and were watching something together on Yamaguchi's phone. Jealousy flared through him and he let out an annoyed tisk. Hey, what's? Noya followed Tanaka's gaze and laughed, amused at the sight of Tanaka being so jealous. Jealous of a kawaii? Really? Shut up, Noya. I really didn't think you'd be the overprotective and jealous type. I'm not. Dude, you are so jealous it's literally written all over your face. Well, my boyfriend wouldn't let me kiss him and made me sit away from him. Can you blame me? You were kissing him in front of everyone. So. While we were rushing to training camp. And okay. Gosh, you're so mean. Me, mean, no. Tanaka glared at Noya. Besides, if I am mean, then what was Kyoko rejecting us constantly when we were first years who had massive crushes on her? Not gonna lie though, we were overbearing, especially since we actually liked her back then. I think if we flirted with her now she would be nicer because it's obviously a joke. Yeah, remember that one time where I flirted with her and she flirted back? Of course, the way you both turned to look at Asahi at the same time was hilarious. Who do you think Kyoko would date? Well, she's bi, so it literally could be anybody, but we can exclude the people who are dating. I don't think she knows a lot of first years, so I think most first years are out of the question, and in our club all the first years are dating, so. Not a first year, that's for sure. Yeah, now I'm pretty sure she knows a handful of second years and pretty much all the third years. That sounds about right. We still have a lot of candidates. Well, at least it helped us rule out some people. Yeah, Tanaka accidentally saw Enoshita out of the corner of his peripheral vision and became incredibly irritated again because somehow Yamaguchi and Enoshita had managed to shift even closer towards each other. There was barely a slither of space between them. Hey Enoshita-san, yeah? Wanna watch baking videos with me? Oh sure. What do you want to learn to make? Well, I'm decent at cooking and baking. I can make a sponge cake and pancakes successfully, but I've never baked much. Oh, well, how about strawberry shortcake then? For your Tsuki. Yamaguchi giggled and nudged Enoshita, who also giggled after the action and the silent admittance. They looked at cute and aesthetic cooking videos while Yamaguchi told him a funny story about the time Tsukishima tried to bake his favorite cake and how he failed miserably. And I swear the cake was somehow burned and undercooked at the same time. Oh my gosh. I know. And it was so undercooked that it was practically still batter. Welp, I guess even someone like Tsukishima can mess up as badly as, well, the freak duo, and the insane second years. Speaking of Tanaka-san, how's things going with you and him? Well, it's going good, I guess. Yamaguchi was silent for a second before looking at the older with a mischievous glint in his eyes. I'll let you in on something. I don't know if you have noticed, but I think about 5 months ago, Tanaka gradually stopped simping for Kyoko. That's when the team started to suspect that something's going on. Huh, really? We only got together 3 months ago. Well, it was kinda obvious, especially to Noya-san, who was the one to point it out. Although he was just overreacting, but then Tanaka really toned down all the simping. And then we noticed him constantly looking at you. And with each day the looks got more and more fond. It quickly became clear that he had feelings towards you. Enoshita sighed. One of the reasons we didn't make our relationship public immediately was because I thought he still liked Kyoko, and he also wanted to take things slow. Then 2 weeks into the relationship we had a discussion about past relationships and whatnot. That was when I told him about the Kyoko situation and we cleared things up. That's good. I don't blame you for thinking he still likes Kyoko, though he did seem head over heels for her. I had a hard time accepting things. I've had a crush on him since our first year, and to see your crush gush and fawn over someone, honestly I was happy to just be in his life. Yeah. I never thought Kay would ever like me, but he's super sweet to me, and I knew for a fact that he likes me more than most since he listens to you. Well, more than that, but I somehow managed to summon up the bravery to tell him my feelings, and here we are, I guess. He's been treating you well, right? Of course, I wouldn't stay in a relationship if I feel like I wasn't being treated correctly. Enoshita's gaze softened and he smiled. I'm happy for you too. Yamaguchi returned the smile cheerfully. I'm happy for you too. Hey. Do. Hey. Hey. Huh. What? We're here, oh Suga-san. Come on, you two are the last to leave, the others have gotten off already? Oh, I'd better go get my bag then. Same. Oh, no need to. Suga laughed at the incredulous look on both of their faces. Tanaka and Tsukishima took both of your bags. Oh. Hey, better get off now, the others have already started unpacking. Hearing their teacher's words, the boys immediately rushed out of the bus while Takeda-sensei and Suga trailed behind them. Amused at how frantic the two were, the pair ran to the room the team is staying at and bursted in, panting heavily. Oh yams, you're here. Ah, sorry Tsuki. It's fine. Did you sleep well? Yes, actually, I really needed that. Huh. I was up late worrying. I think the videos we watched calmed me down. Ennotana-san. You shouldn't stay up late. I didn't mean to. It's alright. It's fine yams. Okay Tsuki. Chika. Yes Ryu. Tanaka said nothing but spread his arms asking for a hug. Ryu, I need to. Tanaka just gave him puppy eyes while continuing to reach for him. Ennotana sighed. You big baby, alright I'm coming. Like a koala, Tanaka latched onto Ennotana as soon as he was in arm's reach. He dragged Ennotana down onto his futon, keeping a firm grip on his waist, and spooned him from behind, nuzzling his face into the crook of his lover's neck. Wow. I think it's sweet. How did we not find out sooner? Did Tanaka forget that they aren't alone? I didn't think that the PDA would get worse. Well, you're clearly wrong, Kino. Well, at least now I can do this. Wah, get a room. Shut up and let me appreciate my wonderful, gorgeous, sweet, cute, thoughtful, and the embodiment of everything that is good in the world boyfriend. Ennotana groaned loudly. Why are you so embarrassing? Because you're too breathtaking. Stop complimenting me. Never, babe. Ennotana buries his burning face into his hands secretly. Happy but still embarrassed, as this was all taking place in front of their teammates. I had no idea that Tanaka could simp even more, but here he is proving us all wrong. You'd be like me too if your significant other was like Chika. Hey. Suga is brilliant as well? Aw, thanks love. Suga said from the doorway. Oh my, when did you get here? A few moments ago. Oh wow Tanaka, you sure affectionate. Yeah. Tell me about it, seriously, they can't get any more sappy and shit. Tanaka flashed them a smirk and proceeded to gently purr kisses onto Ennotana's neck. Ryu. We are still in front of the team. So. Gosh, you really have no. Disgusting. Seriously, go get a room. PFT Ryu. Yeah. Can you stop kissing me? Ryu. No. But I want to change sides, huh? Just. Ennotana pouted in frustration. Unable to express himself properly and instead decided to show him, he shuffled around and turned so he was now facing Tanaka's chest. He secretly preened at how muscular his boyfriend is and nuzzled into his chest happily. Tanaka smiled at the sight of his reserved boyfriend cuddling into him, and without even realizing he had slipped his hand around Ennotana's waist and pulled him even closer. He then continued planting kisses on everywhere he could reach on his boyfriend without disturbing him too much. Oh my god, I didn't think it could get worse. I know, right? This rivals the days where Hinata and Kageyama are extra cuddly. Hey, we do not. Tanaka glared at them. What? Tanaka rolled his eyes at them and whispered in a low voice, Chika's asleep, so shut up and let him rest. Sugawara nodded and led some of the teammates out of the room. His eyes, he could feel warmth radiating from his left. Snuggling closer to the warmth, he sighed contentedly. That is until he heard a low chuckle. Looking up, he saw his boyfriend looking at him fondly. Hey babe, could you get up from my arm? It's starting to cramp. Oh. Ennotana-san, it's 4:20 right now and Aoba-josai just arrived. Ennotana sprang up and immediately looked much more awake. Really? I believe Ennotana was tackled to the floor by a pale-haired brunette wearing a signature mint green and white shirt. Oh my god, Haba. The two boys on the floor giggled, then a small slender boy flopped onto the pair giggling on the floor, making them let out a loud oof, and someone by the door lets out a small chuckle. Kenma, Kashi? Akashi sat down next to the pile. He ran his hand through Kenma's silky hair. You guys are friends? I thought it was obvious. Kenken. Maybe you should have worded it better. I did. I think it was fine. Yahaba. You two have been hanging out with Shirabu, haven't you? Alright, get off of me, you two are heavy. Excuse me? I barely eat. I Kenken, that's not good. Yeah, we are going to force you to eat. Tanaka pulled Ennotana into his embrace as soon as the two setters got off his boyfriend. Oh, possessive are we? Haba. What? Your boyfriend is the same, you have no room to talk, hun. Hey. Kuro-san is possessive too. Well, so is Bokito, but they are more clingy than possessive. I'm going to agree with Kenma. Kashi. The betrayal. Oi. Shigeru. Yahaba-chan. Mad Dog-chan here got impatient waiting for you. The tip of Kitani's ears turned red and he buried his face into his boyfriend's neck. Hi Kenma. Oh hi Kyo. Akashi raised an eyebrow at the small interaction between the two blondes. Surprising, right? Sure is. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it, but at the same time it kinda makes sense. Guys, this is the Karasuno team room, not your hangout spot. Oh right, main room. We're sure as they aren't here yet, right? Oh yeah, sure, that works. Ennotana tried to get up, but Tanaka's grip didn't loosen up, in fact it tightened. Ryu. Tanaka didn't respond, but he did grumbled a little. Ryu, come on now. I'll be back soon, alright? While Yahaba and Ennotana attempted to get out of their boyfriend's grips, the others headed towards the Shiratorizawa room. Since Shirabu messaged the group chat saying that they'll arrive at 7 p.m, they knew it was going to be a while until they got there. Hey, dinner is ready. The group of boys started to move slowly. Oi Trashikawa, stop stalling and eat. Iwha-chan so mean. Come on Kawa, he's been sulking for the past 2 hours because you weren't with him. Shut up. Yahaba laughed and grabbed Oikawa's wrist, pulling him to the table. Talk to you guys later. The boys all went back to their respective teams. And the moon was out, most of the people are asleep already, but Tanaka was still awake playing with his boyfriend's hair. He hugged his boyfriend even tighter, nuzzling into his boyfriend's hair. He couldn't help but smile. He thinks about how lucky he is to have Ennotana by his side. And he fell into a deep slumber to the sound of soft snores and the feeling of overflowing happiness.
So that's it for this little short one shot. My Alice in Borderland video is right now going through editing because copyright. Yeah. And I hate editing, so I decided to stall, and this is what I came up with. Hope you guys don't mind. The song in the beginning was Fly Me to the Moon. I saw this really cute animation thing, and I decided I had to put it in the intro in some kind of, form. But then I realized that Fly Me to the Moon is a song, and I could get copyrighted, so I sang the song instead. So yes, I am the singer. Please do not come after me, copyright. I swear to God, I sang it. And yeah, that's about it. I should be able to come up with a few videos before school, but stuff, life gets in the way. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe for more, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.